Hello class, in this video we are going to finish the review for test 1. Let's see where we were left. This is number 30, right? Let's go, we did the number 30 already. 31, the last 10 questions in this video. Number 31, combine like terms. Okay, let's see. We have term 4xy. Second term expression is positive 4 over 5 x squared y, followed with term 6 over 5 times xy, and the last term is 6 over 5 times x squared times y. So briefly check what I have copied, just make sure I did not make any mistake. All right, very good. Among the 4 terms, we identify term 1 and term 3. They are like terms because they have exactly the same variable parts. They both have a variable part x times y. And term 2 and term 4, they are like terms because their variable parts are x squared times y, exactly the same. So when we combine like terms, we combine their coefficients. So we are going to, it doesn't hurt to put the like terms together, right? I'll try not to change the colors. It looks like I always slow down the process. Okay, so here. 4xy plus 6 over 5xy, 4 over 5 x squared y plus 6 over 5 x squared y. And those two terms, they have coefficients 4 and 6 over 5. So we combine their coefficients, 4 plus 6 over 5, and then copy the variable part xy. And those two terms in the second parentheses, the first coefficient is 4 over 5, the second coefficient is 6 over 5. We combine their coefficients for their variable part, which is copy exactly, it is x squared times y. 4 plus 6 over 5. So we can write 4 as 20 over 5 because 20 divided by 5 is 4. This way, both fractions have denominator 5. And the second term, the coefficients 4 over 5 plus 6 over 5, the two fractions already have the same denominator, so we don't have to do any adjustment. 20 over 5 plus 6 over 5, that is 26 over 5. Knowing 26 over 5 is already simplified because 26 is divisible by 2 and 13 is not divisible by 5. So 26, the numerator, and the 5, the denominator, they are co-prime. So 26 over 5 times xy plus 4 over 5 plus 6 over 5. That is 10 over 5. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 divided by 5 is 2, right? 10 over 5 is 2. So 2x squared y. This is our final solution for this problem. Always important to read a small print in the parentheses. Those information are super important. It says simplify your answer, type an integer or a simplified fraction. Maybe some of you would consider, could I write 26 over 5 as decimal? Right? It's not an infinite decimal. It's going to be a very simple decimal, finite decimal. 26 divided by 5 is 5.2. No, you can't, because the problem specifically pointed out type an integer or a simplified fraction. So decimal is not allowed. If you really want to type decimal, the system will mark it wrong. Okay, so please make sure that you pay attention to the print. Okay, 26 over 5, 26 over 5 That's the coefficient of the first term, x times y, that's the variable part, plus 2x squared y. We double check our entry, 26/5 times x times y plus 2x squared y. Very good. Next, question number 32. Is negative 24 the solution to the equation? Well, if it is not, find the solution. Okay, select the correct choice below, and if necessary, fill in the answer box to complete your choice. So we want to know if the number negative 24 is solution of this equation. Let me write down the equation first. The equation is x minus 22 equals negative 46. All right. And we like to separate the equation, left side and right side. This is left side, this is right side. And in order to know if negative 24 is solution, in order to know if negative 24 is solution, we want to plug in, right? So let's plug in x equals negative 24. So we replace, and we plug in x equals negative 24. Be careful with the sign. Then the left side, which is x minus 22, would be equal to negative 24 minus 22. And that is negative 46. And if we plug in x equals negative 24 on the right side, the right side is a negative 46. Ooh, what happened? Left side and right side are equal. That means the negative 24 would make the equation as a true statement. When we plug in negative 24, the left side equals the right side. Negative 24 is a solution, all right? So the solution A. The given solution is correct. We're going to choose A in this case. Depends on the value in your review. Is it possible your number is different from mine? And is it possible the given number is not a solution? Then you would have to solve the equation, okay? But for this specific problem, the given solution is correct. Next, question number 33. Multiply use the distributive property. Based on the frequency, how frequent this type of problem appear in a review, you should know how important it is. Distributive property is a very basic and useful technique. Let me copy the expression 3x. Give it the time. 3x times a parentheses. Inside the parentheses, we have three terms, x, 5y, 4z. Yeah, when the terms are all positive, actually make our job a lot easier. First term is x, second term is 5y, third term is 4z, okay? The coefficient of the parentheses is 3x. We're distributing the coefficient 3x. How do we distribute? We make the coefficient multiply with each term in the parentheses, okay? 3x times the first term plus 3x times the second term plus 3x times the third term, okay? 3x times x, 3x squared. 3x times 5y, 3 times 5 is 15, x times y, xy. 3 times 4 is 12, x times z is xz. And this is the final answer, okay? 3x squared plus 15xy plus 12xz. That's the final answer. Is equivalent, equal to original given expression, but without parentheses. There's nothing we can combine either. All the three terms in the final expression are not like terms. Let's enter the answer here. 3x squared plus 15xy and then plus 12xz. 3x squared plus 15xy plus 12xz. Okay, next. Question number 34. Find the value of the variable that satisfies the equation. Okay, so in a class, I emphasize, actually I wrote rule and asked you to collect that rule in your notebook. So the rule says when we solve an equation, and then we need to isolate the variable x, change the coefficient of x as 1. And the coefficient is a fraction. Yeah, when the coefficient is a fraction, instead of dividing, we multiplying the reciprocal of the coefficient. The coefficient is 4/5. Its reciprocal is 5/4. Okay? 5/4 and 4/5 we will multiply to 1, and then we will reach the goal that have x by itself on the left side. But we cannot just do that to the left. The same thing to the right. So we're going to multiply the right side by 5/4 as well. Okay? And this way, 5/5 times 4/5 equals 1, and we have x by itself on the left side. And on the right side, 28 times 5/4. And you could use a calculator. And let's look at this problem. Does it say anything about entering decimal or fraction? It doesn't really say, right? Yeah, that means probably decimal should be fine if it doesn't say that. So you totally can use the decimal, but we can also use a fraction, right? We can write 28 as 28/1, 5/4, and look at this diagonal. 28/4 is a 7, because 4 times 7 is 28, right? So 4 becomes 1, 28 becomes 7. 7 times 5, 35. Is a whole number, is an integer. So the answer is 35. If you have a calculator, so let's say I don't want to process fractions, that's totally fine in this case. Just in this case, you can convert 5/4 as a decimal, which is 1.25, right? And then you multiply 28 by 1.25, you will have a whole number. We won't have an integer. That's probably the reason the problem does not specify enter a fraction or decimal, right? Because the result is going to be a whole number or integer. And it's always good to double check our result, right? If you it's hard to see now. You're plugging in x equals 35, 4/5 is 0.8. Multiply 0.8 with 35 will give you 28. So the check part is not that difficult. I'll leave that to yourself. And let's move to the next question, number 36 or number 35. Solve the equation for x. Check your answer. Okay. The equation is -11 plus x minus 7 equals right side 12 minus 10 plus 4. Double check. -11 plus x minus 7 equals 12 minus 10 plus 4. Okay. Left side is not simplified yet. Left side has 3 terms. 2 of them are constant terms, and we can combine them. -11, -7. Like the first game you lost $11, second game you lost $7 more. So you lost $18, right? So -18. Bring down the variable part, the variable term x. On the right side, all the 3 terms are constant, so we can combine them. 12 minus 10 is 2. 2 plus 4 is 6, right? And remember, when we solve an equation, the final goal, the ultimate goal, is always to eventually isolate the x on the left side, right? To reach that goal, we need to get rid of -18. How do we get rid of -18? We add 18. Add 18. -18, +18 cancel, and then we have x by itself on the right side, on the left side. On the right side, 6 plus 18, 24. It reminds you to check your answer, right? Yeah, we could totally check our answer. -11 plus 24, you lost $11, but you earn $24 back. So you are $13 profit. And $13 minus 7 is 6. $13 minus 7, and you lost $7, so you have $6 left. On the right side, 12 minus 10 is 2, 2 plus 4 is 6 as well. So yes, the answer we got is correct, 24. Next, 36. Find the total cost of making a triangular sail that has a base dimension of 14 feet and a height of 25 feet. If the price for making the sail is $16.50 per square foot. Okay. If it helps, you can draw a sail, right? The sail is a triangular shape. It says the base is 14 feet. 15. It also give us the height is 25. Yeah, mine is not very, it's a draft. Yeah, the height actually is taller than the base. It's 25 feet. Okay. Our goal here is to find the total price of making this sail. And we are given a unit price. The unit price is $16.50 per square foot. If we know how many square feet in the sail, then we would be able to multiply the number of square feet with the unit price per square foot. Then we would know the total price, right? That's the plan. So we need to know the area of the sail, the area of this triangle. Do you remember the formula for the area of a triangle? Is base times height divided by 2, right? Or half. You can write half base times height, or you can write base times height all over 2, right? Okay. Base 14, height 25, all over 2. Again, use your calculator, right? 14 times 25 numerator, and then divide that numerator by 2. You have the area. Or if you notice, numerator is a 14. Numerator has a factor 14. Denominator has a factor 2. 14 over 2 is 7. So 2 can be written as 1. 14 is 7. And then you can use the calculator to multiply 25 with 7, right? $175. Double check. Yeah. So 175 square. We can do this. Square feet like that. That's notation. Okay. So now we have the square. We have the area of the sail. We also know the unit price per square foot. Remember our plan, which is need to multiply them together, right? Multiply the area, the number of square feet, with the unit price per square foot. I have the calculator pull out, and we can multiply the area we got. What is the area we got? 175. 175 with the unit price 16.5. 16.5. And the result is $2,887.50. Copy, paste. It makes sense, right? Because it's expensive. And I tried, if we have the comma here, it will not count it as wrong. That's fine. Important thing is the comma and the decimal point. Do not confuse one with the other. If we remove the comma, that is totally fine as well. That makes sense, right? A sail for a boat is gonna be pricey, pretty expensive, almost $3,000. Okay. Yeah, type an integer or a decimal. Yeah, we enter a decimal. That's awesome. Next. Question number 37. Let me remove the calculator. Okay. Number 37 is to determine is 3 a solution to the given equation. Okay, we had a similar problem earlier, right? Okay, I'm gonna write on the left side is half times parentheses y minus 1 plus 8 1 over 2 times 1 minus 1 plus 8. So that's left side. The right side is 9 over 10. 9 over 10 times the parentheses 4y minus 2. Okay, so we are going to plug in y equals 3. The variable in the equation is not x anymore. Now we're just plugging in y equals 3. We'll replace y with 3. We'll substitute 3 for y, right? Okay. Y is 3. Replace y with 3 minus 1. Copy everything else. Do you guys remember PEMDAS? So we should process the content in the parentheses first. 3 minus 1 is 2. Half times 2 and then plus 8. Half times 2 is 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. That means when we plug in y equals 3, the left side is 9. Now let's look at the right side. 9 over 10 in the parentheses 4y minus 2. Our y is 3, right? So I use parentheses to frame y and then remove a y and put a 3 in the position of y. Inside the parentheses, we should follow the correct order of operations. We should do the multiplication before the subtraction. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10. And knowing this 10 is on the top, okay? 10 over 10 is 1. We also get a 9. Left side is 9, right side is 9. That means y equals 3 is a solution of the equation because it makes the equation as a true statement, okay? So yes, it is a solution. It is a solution. Next, question number 38. Solve for x and check your answer. This equation has decimals. I don't worry about equations with decimals too much since a calculator is allowed. 0.8x plus 5.8 equals 2.2. I'd really strongly recommend you do what I do every time when we solve an equation. Left side, right side, use an imaginary line to separate the left side and right side. Knowing our goal is to have x by itself on the left. In order to reach that goal, we need to get rid of 5.8, we need to get rid of 0.8, right? And then what's the order? We get rid of 5.8 first. What's positive here? Okay, because remember when you peel an onion, you should remove the outer skin before you can reach the inner layer skin, right? So we get rid of 5.8 by subtracting 5.8 from each side. Cancel, right? That's what we want. After that, the left side will become 0.8x, and the right side 2.2 minus 5.8. I encourage you to use a calculator. When we use a smaller number to minus a bigger number, the result is going to be negative. Just imagine, first game you won $2.20, but second game you lost $5.80. Your profit is negative. You're losing money. How much you lose? You lose $3.60. 3.8. That's 3.6, which is negative. Okay, negative 3.6. One more step in order to get rid of the 0.8. Since we know the 0.8 and x are multiplied together, we are going to divide it by 0.8. Divided by 0.8. 0.8 over 0.8, the coefficient of x becomes 1. So we have x by itself on the left side. On the right side, negative 3.6 divided by 0.8. Numerator negative, denominator positive, the quotient is negative. Yeah. I think is going to be 4.5. Okay? Yeah, it's gonna be negative 4.5. I can double check, use the calculator. Well, we are not sure anything, including calculation, of course. We are not sure. We figured out, right? We do not guess. So 3.6 divided by 0.8. It is 4.5. It's negative because the numerator is negative, denominator is positive. So our answer is a negative 4.5. you're welcome to double check your result. Use your calculator. 4.8 times negative 4.5. You have a product and add a 5.8 to see if you have 2.2. Okay, next. Question 39. Replace. Okay. So fill in yin color symbols to make the statement true. On the left side, we have a negative 5.3. On the right side, we have a negative 1.5. We are comparing two negative numbers. Think about the financial status. Which result is better? You owe, like you are $5.30 in debt is better, or you have a $1.50 in debt better. Remember the greedy alligator always chasing the better result? Even both cases are in debt. We don't like in debt, right? But on the right side, you are $1. You only owe $1.50. That is a lot better by compared with owing OWE $5.30, right? So that's the right size bigger. Question number 40. Simplify. Use the distributive property to remove the parentheses, then combine like terms. Okay, let's do this one. 7. Oh, give a little bit of time. We have two parentheses. The first parenthesis has a coefficient 7. Second parenthesis has a coefficient -7. It's important to know the coefficient for the parentheses. Give a little bit of time. Okay. 7 times parentheses 6a minus b. -7. Okay, I want to show you. -7 times the second parenthesis. This here actually is a, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Plus -7 times 4b minus 8a. Okay, I hope you'll see they are the same thing. The two parts are added together. And second part, the coefficient is -7. To remove the first parentheses, we multiply 7 with both terms in the parentheses. 7 times 6a plus 7 times -b. Move down the addition sign, and -7 times the first term plus -7 times the second term. Right? Simplify. 7 times 6a. 7 times 6, 42. 7 times -b, -7b. -7 times 4b, -28b. -7 times -a, +56a. Okay. And among the four terms, this one, like terms, those two in the middle, like terms. Let's combine them. 42a, like 42 but apples. Yeah, a can be, you can imagine a is, you can consider a as apples, right? 42 apples, add another 56 apples. And how many apples you have? 98 apples, right? And then in the middle, you are 7 bananas in debt, and you have another 28 bananas in debt. So you lose 7 bananas and you lose 28 bananas. So in total, you lose 35 bananas. Okay, so this is the final result. We need to be very careful. When we're solving an equation, we do have a way to double check our result. However, when we simplify an expression, the only way to check is from the very beginning. Just to look at each step of your result, of your solution, to make sure there's no error. The answer here is 98 times A minus 35 times B. Double check your entry 98A minus 35B. Submit. Let's see if we made any mistakes. Ooh, 100%. We got them all right. All right, guys. So we have 4 parts in this review because I don't want to make a very long video just in case I made any mistake and I have to, So knowing we have 4 parts in the review, I'll see you in the next review.